Okay, guys and gals. I was going to make a Kokishi what if before this, but I kept making a few takes on the Kokishi what if, and none of them were up to my satisfaction. I couldn't think on how to continue the story at the moment, so I won't make the Kokishi what if first. I'm just going to start this and see how this goes. But yeah, this is going to be the 300 subscriber special, guys and gals. This is going to be part 1. Part 2 will be what if. This is what if you was no, not you. What if Deku was Yuu Otosaka from Charlotte? I don't think I'm going to do a reincarnation. Well, this is a reincarnation, but I don't think I'm going to have Deku remember his past. He might have flashes, but he's not going to fully remember his past. Only flashes, I'm going to say, of stuff that happened in the past life. So, yeah. But part 2 of the 600 subscriber special will be what if Deku was Dezai from Bruno's Stray Dogs. So yeah, this I'm going to do this first because the comment, one of you commented saying he wanted this first, and I'm going to do it first. So yeah, thank y'all for 600 subscribers, and oh yeah, after the part 2 of the 600 subscriber special, I am going to make a movie. Let me show you the movie that I'm going to do. And no, I'm not. It's not the continuation of the first movie of really I can't say shit right now of what should I fucking call it? But yeah, it's not the continuation of Twisted Love at the moment. It's gonna be a new movie. It might just be a one movie thing, 2 or 3. I don't know how many movies I'm gonna do for this one, but let me show you some pictures. Here's some pictures. Here's the first one. As you can tell, yeah, this is gonna be a good one. This is gonna be a good movie. These are the screenshots that or pictures I'm gonna use for this movie. And I like this one and this one the most. I might have this as the main picture I'm gonna use for this what if. I like this one as well. This one. I like that a lot. I might use this one, but let me go to this one. But yeah, these are the pictures I'm gonna use. And now that I'm done talking about this, let me bring out the what if of what if Deku was Yuu Otosaka after my intro, guys and gals, my monster family.
I was an infant, kids a fucking monster, I feel like I'm Ben 10. Niggas bugging me, I don't fuck with your insects. Heard you don't want smoke, get scared of that incense. Feeling like I'm taking, I turn you to past tense. All you pussy niggas, I swear that's your last chance. I'm about my dollars, my niggas don't make sense. Been a fucking sucker since I was an infant. Okay, like Gucci on me, 7 on my collar. I don't fool with snakes. Stick on me, stick on me. Yeah, so fucking take favorite hoodie, 444 and camo. She thought it was okay. Her favorite king, y'all her favorite king. She said it was red. Yeah, you niggas is trash, reminding me of 6ix9ine. Part of my neck remind me of a riptide. I tie her up, she looking cute as yeah. Dick died, she gon' run my dick.
Now, we're gonna start off this story with a child being born in the hospital. And this is just like any other childbirth. The mother is given labor to the child as time passes and she's pushing and pushing, and the father is right beside her. Not her father, but the father of the child as well. As he's holding her hand as he's saying, "Sweetie, deep breaths, deep breaths." As she nodded and she's taking deep breaths as she pushes the baby out after a few more pushes as the doctor finally gets the baby, cuts the cord as the nurse cleans the mother, Inko Midoriya, as she smiles weakly at the nurse, thanking her, as the nurse says, "No problem, sweetie. It's my job here. I have to do this." As she cleans her off, as the doctor says, "It is a healthy baby boy." As both of the parents look at the doctor and they smile and they say, as the father says, "Inko, isn't that just wonderful?" As she says, "Yes, that is really wonderful, sweetie." As she smiled, as she really wanted a baby boy. She didn't want a girl at the moment. She wanted a boy. As she said, "Can I hold the baby?" As the doctor said, "Give me 1 minute. Let me clean the baby off, and you can I'll bring him right to you." As she nodded, as the doctor did his thing, cleaned the baby up, put him in a warm. What color should the blanket be? Oh yes, a warm purple little blanket. As the only thing that's really showing is the baby and this little fall fuzz of hair. As the doctor smiles as he looks at the baby, as the baby was crying whenever it came out, of course. But whenever he put the baby in the blanket and held the baby stopped crying. As he brought the baby to the mother, as he says, "Here you go, Miss Midoriya." As the husband backs up a little bit, enough for the doctor to give Ingo the baby. As he does so, as Ingo is holding her baby boy, her sweet baby boy, as she's looking into the boy's eyes, as something's unusual. His eyes are, how would I say, yellow. Yes, his eyes are gonna be yellow in this what if. But not a glowing yellow. Whenever he uses his quirk, it is gonna be glowing, yes. But his regular eye color is gonna be a natural yellow. Kind of like Toga's, but not cat-like. Just regular yellow eyes. Kind of like Jessica's or Kai's or Overhaul's eyes. Kind of like his, but more yellowish. As she can't really tell with the hair, but she can see the fuzz on his hair. So she can see his hair being strands of white and brown. She's confused. White and brown. Interesting. She looks at her baby lovingly while she's looking at him. at his face, his structure, as in this what if Izuku will not have the same hair as Hisashi. That broccoli looking hair. His hair is more like his mother's, straight, um and going down. His hair is not like in canon. So he has a mixture of white strands and brown hair and yellow eyes. And he doesn't have freckles. He pretty much looks like in this picture. But both of his eyes are working right now because one of his eyes are not cut yet. And I quote yet. But yeah, as you see Inko give a look at Hisashi as she says, Hisashi, look at our baby boy. As he says, yes. As he gets closer, as he looks at the features of his son. As he smiles at his son. That cute little baby face and just everything about him is just cute. As he's already getting that fatherly love. As he is happy. But he is wondering about those eyes though. He's not really worried about anything but those eyes are yellow. Neither him or Inko have yellow eyes. But he does see the white hair, the white strands of hair on their boy. As he says, Inko, does anyone in your family have yellow eyes? He might have inherited that from them. As she says, not that I know of, Hisashi. As she says, could this be his quirk? As she asks, could it be a mutation? As Hisashi thinks about this, and he says, it might be. It might be part of his quirk. I don't know. But this is gonna be quite a wonderful boy that we're gonna raise, Inko. As she just nodded and she smiled. As time passes and Inko and Hisashi are raising their boy, which they have named Yuu Midoriya. As they really like Yuu. He is being raised as he is very smart for his age. Very educated. Not really very educated, but he's very smarter than normal people. And he does have the looks. Even how should I say, in his younger grades, you could tell easily that this boy is gonna be a looker whenever he grows up. As he swayed a few girls in his grades. As right now I'm gonna say that right now I'm gonna say 4 years pass as he is 4 years old now. As right now Yu is just studying up. As him and his Hisashi. Hisashi is teaching him what should Hisashi be teaching him? Oh yes, I know. Hisashi is teaching him up to grade 2. Second grade mathematics right now. As he should be in preschool right now. Well, he should be in preschool soon in a few years. As I'm pretty sure you get to regular school around 6, I think. Don't call me out in the comment section because I don't know when kids usually start um their first year of you know elementary school. So yeah, that's right now he's in preschool. As he is very smart, he is highly intelligent. Like I said before, and Hisashi is teaching him as they found this out very easily whenever their boy was playing around with some toys that they bought him whenever he was smaller, as he could always fit the puzzles together. You know, the circles, the squares, the rectangles. He could always fit those pieces together within a short amount of time, as Hisashi and Ingo has really found that interesting. As Ingo says lovingly, "We have a smart kid, don't we, Hisashi?" As he says lovingly, "Of course we do, sweetie. He he is our kid." As she says, "Yes, I know." As she hugs Izuku, and they start buying him puzzle like toys. That really turns out to be one of his favorite type of toys that he has. But as he grows up, he looks on the internet and he sees quite a few things. As he finds so many things fascinating. But most of all, quirks. He finds quirks really fascinating to him. As from the age of no, he doesn't write them down yet, but he keeps note of the you know, of quirks. Yes, my bad. I am off my game today, so yeah. Sorry if I am not doing as good as I usually do on what ifs, guys and girls. But I'm easing my way back into doing what ifs. Uh, mm, as it is his 4th birthday and he is being studied. He is studying with his father, as his father's teaching him 2nd grade mathematics and other studies. As he says, "Yay! I love studying, Daddy. Thank you for teaching me, Daddy." As Hisashi just chuckles and he says, "It's okay, little guy. I would teach you any time you want." As he says, "Though not on work days, any time else but my work days." As Midorius just nodded. As Hisashi checks the time, as he his eyes widen as he says, "Ingo," as he shouts. As she's fixing breakfast right now, as she says, "Yes, Hisashi?" She yells back as he says, "It's time for us to get ready and get Izuku to the quirk doctor." As she says, "Okay, I'll get the food ready and we'll be on our way." As in this what if Yuu isn't really excited to get a quirk. He's pretty much chilled about it, I would say. As he's hiding his excitement, as he's a little excited that he is going to the quirk doctor, but he's not excited as he would be in canon storyline, as he looks at his father as he smiles a little bit, as he has his soft smile as he says, "Daddy, we going to the quirk doctor?" As Hisashi says, "Yes, sweet son of mine, you are going to the quirk doctor." As he smiles as he gets up, as they get dressed and they get ready to go to the quirk doctor. Same as Inko. As they start eating and they leave the house to go to the quirk doctor. It takes a 10 to 15 minutes to get to the quirk doctor. As I'm going to say in this, what if Hisashi and Inko are financially doing well, so they're not living in a apartment. They're more likely to be living in a condo right now, a high-end condo. That's what I'm gonna say. Yes, as they're living pretty well for themselves. As having a mother that works as a doctor and a husband that what should Hisashi be working as? I don't know, but just know that Hisashi is working, cause I got a thing that I'm gonna do with Hisashi, and it doesn't really matter what his how would I say work is. Just know that he's bringing in good money. That's all I'm saying. As you might all know what I'm doing with Hisashi, but yeah, as right now they go to the quirk doctor and they do the paperwork. They go fills the paperwork as Hisashi is playing with Yuu, as they're pretty much playing patty cake, as they're just playing around, just goofing around, as they're just having fun, just waiting for the doctor to call them, as they are at a high-end doctor, I'm going to say. Yes, it is a high-end doctor, as Hisashi recommended this doctor to Inko, as she written the doctor's name that they're recommended to, as there is an option saying recommended doctors to go to, as she writes the doctor's name and she writes her son's name and yada yada yada, as she after filling the paperwork, Ingo goes back to see her son and her husband just goofing around, just laughing and having fun. She smiles sweetly as she sits beside her husband. She sighs as she says, "Can you stop goofing around? You're making a you're giving the people by us trouble. You're making too much noise, guys." As Hisashi makes a pouty face as he says, "Really, do we have to stop Bingo?" As he's playing around with her too, but still pretty much holding Izuku, as she says, "Yes, you have to stop, honey." As Hisashi just sighs as he says, "Fine." Sorry about that yawn, but yeah, let me get back to the story. As Hisashi said just sighed as he says, "Fine. We'll be more quieter then." As he continues to play around with Izuku, but more quietly. As that just made Inko chuckle at her husband's and son's antics. As by now, Yu looks like a smaller 4-year-old version of this picture pretty much. But he does have the brown hair and he has a lot of white stripes going down of his hair, pretty much. If you know what I'm going for. He has streaks of white going down all around his hair. So it's a mixture of browns and whites. Like I said before. And of course he has those yellow eyes going for him. As he is just dressing regularly right now, he doesn't wear All Might merch, as he doesn't idolize All Might. As he's more into underground heroes like Aizawa. As he sees All Might as he does, I'm going to say, like All Might, but not as much as he does heroes like, I just said his name, Aizawa, and, the bunny hero, Miracle. As he really, likes the strength that these two heroes have. Because their quirks aren't 100% based on strength alone, but they use their anything they have to their advantage. As he really likes those two heroes a lot. He sees All Might as a muscle head, pretty much. The same goes for Endeavor, but Endeavor has more cleverness to himself. He's more smart than All Might. Even a 4-year-old Yu can see that. But he does respect All Might for his raw power. So now that I'm talking about that, let's get back into the Quirk Doctor. As right now, Yu is wearing a plain red t-shirt and black jeans. As his jeans are ripped up too, so he does have style for his age. He is stylish. As he has black shoes as well. As the doctor comes out and as he says, the Midoriyas, as all three of them put their heads up, and they saw the doctor as they say here. As the doctor says, y'all can come in now. It's y'all's time. As they all nodded as they went up and went into the room. As the doctor closed the door once they all entered. As they all sat in their seat and the doctor said, can I have you for a little bit? We gotta take some tests so we can figure out what his quirk will be. As the two parents nodded as they said, okay, you can go on with the doctor now, you. As you nodded as they do all the tests. They do the x-ray, they do blood, they do multiple other types of tests to test out if Izuku Yu has a quirk. As once Yu has done all of his tests, the doctor says you can go with your back to your parents, little one. I'm going to check and see all the tests. As you does do what the doctor said, as he goes to his parents and he sits between them. As all she asks, did you get hurt by any of the tests, son? As you ask his father, are you referring to the needle? I'm not afraid of needles, daddy. The needle didn't hurt at all. As Hisashi smiled as Midoriya said, or you. He said, you should know me by now, father. I don't get hurt by, I don't feel hurt or pain from small things like that, father. I am strong just like you. As he smiles, as, oh my bad, as Hisashi just smiles wildly as he says, that's my son, as he pats his son on the back. As once he did that, the doctor came back into the room as he sat into his chair as he went through all the paperwork and the test. As he says, okay, it took me a while to find what his quirk was, as the signs show that he does indeed have a quirk, because he does not have that one joint in his no, he does have that extra joint in his pinky toe. Yeah, I'm pretty sure if you do have the extra joint in your pinky toe, you do have a quirk. So yeah, this boy does have a quirk indeed. As he just couldn't figure out what it was for a little bit of time, but he finally found it out. As he says, okay, your son does have a quirk. It is called I know what I want to do. Yes. Your son's quirk is pretty magnificent, actually. He can take control of a person for 35 seconds. And pretty much, yeah, that's pretty much it. Your son can take control of your anyone for 35 seconds. For how many times as he can. But there's a cooldown on it, on the person itself, and how many times he can do it a day. As once he takes control of a person, and after the time is done, he won't be able to control anyone for quite a bit of time, especially that one person that he took control of. I actually don't know the time limit per se, because we haven't done any actual testing on this quirk yet, or if at all. But yeah, he can pretty much take control of people for 35 seconds. If he trained that, he might be able to stay in and can take control of that person for longer. He might be a great hero, the doctor says. As both Hisashi and Inko smile at that, as they say, that's good to hear. As they both look at their son and they say, son, you can be a hero. As Yuu is just happy to have a quirk. He doesn't really know what he wants to be when he grows up right now, as he loves heroes. Yes, but he doesn't know if he wants to be one, as he's confused. He really doesn't know if he should be here or not. As he just smiled as he says, yes, I can. As both Inko and Hisashi say thank you to the doctor as they walk out with Yuu, as Yuu is behind Inko as they're out the door first before Hisashi looks as he said before he leaves the room, as he says to Inko he's gonna stay and chat with the doctor for a second. As Inko looks at Hisashi as she asks, "Oh, I bet you want to catch up. You said you didn't know him, didn't you, honey?" As he says, "Yes. I met him quite a while ago. We know each other for years." As Hisashi smiled, as he says, "Okay, sweetie, yes." She walks out with Doria or you, as Hisashi looks back at the doctor and he closes the door for a second and locks it. As he asks, "So, Doc, what's my son's real quirk?" "I know you lied. You know all my quirks. You do work for me after all." As the doctor smiled as he says, "Of course, master. I only lied to your son and your daughter, not daughter. That would be gross. But and wife, because the quirk is really powerful. It's pretty similar to your quirk master, but he cannot give quirks away. He can only take quirks and use them for his own self. I like to call it plunder, as that seems like a fitting name for your son's quirk, doesn't it, Hisashi? Or shall I call you O for One?" As the doctor smiled, as Hisashi or O for One looks at the doctor as he smiled as he says, "Yes, that is quite the fitting name for my son's quirk." As he nods as he says, "Yes, that is indeed a good quirk for him. Yes, it is." As I'm going to say, All for One walks out of the door as he says, "Make sure to keep doing your job on kids, finding their quirks and taking them away. Just keep at it. Keep what you're doing." As All for One asks, "Master, I got a question, sir." As All for One looks back as he says, "Yes, doctor?" As Dr. Ichiko asks, "You have done this to multiple women and given birth to children and taken their quirks away. But this time, you didn't want me to do that. Why is that? What makes these two special?" As All for One looks at the doctor as he says, "I honestly don't know myself. But these two are different. And I love them dearly. And I really don't want them to be involved in what I'm doing. This is the first time that I felt something like this in decades." As Ichiko just nodded. As he asked, but do you still want to go with your plans? As everyone says, of course I do. It's just I don't want them involved in that. I want them to be safe. Out of everyone here, those two are safe in this world. No one else. Oh, my bad. No one else. As Dr. Ichigo just smiled as he says, "Okay, Master. They will be safe for our plans in the future." As everyone nodded as he unlocks the door and he walks out. As Inko and Yu is waiting in the car for Hisashi. As I'm gonna say that Inko and Hisashi have two cars. As one is more of a sporty type of car, and one is a car that can hold all three of them, so pretty much a four-door car. As I don't know what cars I should give them, to be honest. One's a two-door, one's a four-door. I just say yes. One is a Camaro, because I'm gonna say that because I love Camaros, and one is a BMW. Yeah. So yeah, as they're driving the BMW right now, as Ashi gets in the passenger seat, as he says, "You can go now, sweetie." As he smiles, as she smiles, as he says, "Okay, sweetie." As they start to drive off back to their home. As Hisashi smiles as Inko asks, "Sweetie, what did you and the doctor talk about?" As Hisashi just looks at her and he kisses her on the cheek as he says, "I was just talking about y'all, how much I love y'all, and me and the doctors passed, and we had a few struggles here and there." As she says, "Oh, I understand. I understand." As he says, "I sure hope so. Me and the doctor's past is kind of like you and Miss Miski's past." As she says, "Oh, I'm understanding better now." As he says, "Yeah." As he smiles, and my bad. As they drive back to their apartment, as they get to the elevator and they get to one of the top floors, as they get into their huge apartment, and Yu immediately goes to his room, as Hisashi just chuckles as he says, "What are we going to do with our kid? We should immediately train him on his quirk." As Inko asks, "But how are we going to do that? His quirk relies on people for him to use for his quirk." As Hisashi says, "I don't know, but I'll figure out a way." As inside of Hisashi's mind, he says, "I already found a way." Of course, I'm going to use low-life villains for this, but yeah, it is what it is. Yes, 40 minutes. As time passes, and I'm going to say Yuu is around 8 years old now. Yep, let's say that. 8 years old. As him and his dad has been training his quirk. As Yuu is pretty proficient in taking people's bodies for more than 35 seconds. As he can at least right now be able to hold someone's body for 1 minute. As that took a lot of training just for 1 minute of time for the time limit. As he can get in and out of their bodies whenever he wants within that minute. So he's not stuck in that body for 1 minute. So yeah. At first he was stuck whenever he was training his quirk with his father first. As once he started getting a hang of it, of his quirk, and getting better at it, more efficient, he was able to get out of the bodies whenever he needed to. So yeah. Let me think. As after all that training, him and his father have bonded, and his father has been teaching him studies as well as training his quirk. But all things must come to an end, as before Hisashi no, before I say what's going to happen next, once Izuku turned 8, Hisashi and Ingo came up to Izuku and they asked, how would you feel if you had a little sister? As my bad. As you thinks on this, and his eyes sparkle as he says, I would love to have a little sister, Mom and Dad. Are y'all gonna make a little sister for me? As Ingo and Hisashi say, we already have a little sister in mind. As he says, you ask, well, what do you mean? As they pretty much fill him in on what his Hisashi saw and what happened. As he saw this little girl be beaten on a daily while he walks to work. As he felt bad for this girl, so he took her in. As he started to fill the adoption papers, as she was getting beaten by her parents and anyone else because of her quirk. And yeah, as Yu's eyes went wide as he asked, really? What's her name? As they tell him her name, and they give him a description of what she looks like. as he says, "Yes, I would love for her to be my little sister." As they nodded, as no time passes, and by now, All for One and Inko have brought the girl into the apartment as Yuu is getting his first look of the girl. As he sees the girl's he just sees the girl as his eyes widen. As she's around 4 or 5 years old right now. As yeah, she is 5 or 6 right now. As he sees this girl with a horn on her head and with white hair and red eyes. As he smiles as she's hiding behind Hisashi and Inko. As she asks, "Is that Big Brother?" As Hisashi says, "Yes, this is Big Brother," he says with a warm smile. As as yeah. Let me think, man. As she looks at Yuu, as Yuu walks up to her, as she crouches face to face, as he says, "I'm your big brother Yuu, and there's no nickname for me. I'm just Yuu. You can call me Big Brother or Yuu, whichever one you want." As she says, "Big Brother," as she hugs him, as Yuu smiles as he thinks, "Yes, this is gonna be a good little sister. She's too cute." As he thinks, who could ever abuse and hurt this cinnamon roll? As Inko and Hisashi think the same thing. And this, what if Hisashi or All for One doesn't kill kids below the age of 15? Anything lower than 15 he will not kill. As he doesn't even kill kids at the age of 15. He would just deal with them and not really kill kids at the age of 15 to 18. At the age of 19 to 20, he'll kill kids. So as long as he doesn't kill kids that age, he doesn't care if anyone else in his group will. But as long as he doesn't feel like he should. So yeah. He doesn't go past torturing kids though. But he won't kill them. So yeah. As 49, okay. Let me think on this. What should I do? Now I'm gonna say that After a few months of Eri being in the house of the Midoriyas, she is now Eri Midoriya, and she is the little sister of Yuu Midoriya. And let me go back to this picture right here. As you know, this is a Yuu what if, so you know what's going to happen to Eri. And you might kill me for it and blast me in the comic section, but it has to be done for the story. But I can do something. But I'm not going to spoil anything. Just know I'm only spoiling that part. Something will happen to Eri in the upcoming episodes. That's what I'm gonna say. But for y'all who have watched Charlotte, don't hate me, guys. Just please don't. I know this is Eri, but come on. It has to be done for the story. But yeah. But that's not gonna happen now. But as the months pass, and it has been around 5 months of Eri being in the Midoriya's household, and considering herself now, and she is by now out of her shell. And this, what if she was not tortured by Overhaul, because she just wasn't tortured by Overhaul. She had a normal life, but people around her, her friends and her parents, considered her quirk a um they pretty much considered her a monster. So they abused her and neglected her. She always had bruises and how should I say? She had bruises and she always had wrappings on her like she does in canon. But she doesn't really have rags. She has normal clothes, but just know she always has bruises and rags on her. So yeah. By now, all those bruises are gone, and yeah. As by now, she started to forget about all the bad times that she had while growing up with her parents and her supposedly friends or bullies. As she's far away from them now. She's in a new school, and Yu does go to a private school, as he is very educated by now. He is 8 now, so yeah. As him and Eri are so close. As because Inko is having one more mouth to feed in the house. She has to go to work more often, so she's more often than not at work, leaving you alone and being the big brother to Eri. So he's growing more independent by each day, as his father has been going off lately as well, doing his own thing. As one day bad news struck, and there was this saying that not really a saying, but a news, oh no, fucking blah, I can't say shit. A couple police officers went up to their condo and knocked on it, as Inko is there, and I'm gonna say this is around 7 o'clock at night, and she is kind of worried because Hisashi is not back yet. He is usually back by now. As right now, she answers the door, and she sees 3 police officers putting their hats on their chest, as the one in the front says, "Are you Miss Midoriya?" As she asks, yes. And who are you? As the officers say, I am Officer Owens. I am Officer Weiss. The one on the left said, or the one on the right says, I am Officer Wyatt. So as she says, okay, what are you here for? As the first one says, I hate to be a bearer of bad news, but your husband, Hisashi, as by now, you and Eri is behind a few feet away from the door, and they're hearing everything right now, as they were curious, so they were secretly hiding around the corner, as Migo asks, yes, what about my husband? As the one in front decides, as he says, to hell with it. Your husband Hisashi has died from a villain attack. The chaos that was caused in the area with the villain attack fell onto your husband, and I hate to say, but he died by the impact. Once the rubble fell on him, there was no chance of saving him, ma'am. With Ingo gasping and holding her mouth as tears started to well up, as she started to cry, as the one in the front tried to hug her, as he says, I'm sorry, miss. As right behind the wall, you see Yuu, tears streaming down his face, as he's crying silently, as he looks at Eri, as she started to cry as well, as they both heard what the officer said, as Eri hugs Yuu, as they're on both weeping, and Yuu slowly crouches on the floor, and he's just crying, weeping with both of them on the floor, just hugging each other, as they're just lost. Their father died, as as right now I'm gonna say, after the incident with the officers and the shocking news that their father, or Inko's husband Hisashi, is dead, as they did a funeral, and it has been a sad couple of weeks, as once the once the funeral was done, they went back to their condo, and Inko wasn't as lit up as she always was, as she is pretty down. The same goes for Yuu and Eri, as everyone's pretty sullen. As Ingo just does her best for the children. As I'm not gonna make this Ingo abusive or anything bad. No, I don't want this Ingo to be bad. As I want her to try her best. It is what if. As and I do have to say the villain tag that the officer was talking about was the villain tag of All Might versus All Might versus All for One. The first time that they met and they got their scars. So that's how that happened. And once the doctor got a hold of All for One and took him to recovery room and pretty much taking care of him. Once All for One got the chance to sit up, as the doctor asked immediately, "What about your family? They can't see you like this, sir." As All for One can't really see, but because of the quirks, he can see the doctor in a way, though differently than how he could before. But his face is worse and worse shape at the moment because he's not 100% taken care of. Because this is right after the fight, and All for One has regained consciousness for a little bit of time. So as he says, "Then fake my death. I don't want to do this, but I got to protect my family." All for One says, as he says, "Take care of me, Doc. I need to get back to them one day, but not anytime soon. I'll go back to them after the Society of Heroes are taken care of," he says. As the doctor just nodded, as he says, "Yes, master." As that's how things happened. That's how she's faking his death and yada yada yada. And I'm gonna say that I'm going to end it here. It has already been 1 hour, and I'm pretty tired. I hope this was a good part 0 for y'all. And yeah, I love all of y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed. I hope you all have a good day or night, whatever your time zone is in the world. My monster family, and peace out.